the Coexistence Corner show, which I'll be playing some songs. I'll do another performance of my skit, Camp Doomsday. I'll be doing that. And I'll also be reading an article, which this is what I'll call the Coexistence Corner section, where I'll be reading a story about Buddhist monks who are on a 2,300-mile walk, what they call their walk for peace, from Texas to Washington, D.C., making stops along the way and speaking to people. So, and I'm here in my living room, and here is Kipper, who recently had a biopsy on his tail, and he had a lump on his tail, and they've done a biopsy, and we're waiting for the results. But he's still doing great. He's still walking around, doing nicely, and so that's good. And we also have Brownie over here. Brownie is doing great as well. So they are with me as I get ready to play some music, do a skit, and read a news article. So here we'll start with some songs. Okay, I'll stop playing the music just temporarily because I'll get back to that. I wanted to. Why don't I read from the news report I said? So I'll call this section. Call this the Coexistence Corner show, or this section of this. I'll call this Coexistence Corner. My goal is to read about some positive news from around the world. So recently in the news, there's been talk of a group of Buddhist monks who are on what they call a walk for peace. It's a 2,300-mile walk that started in Fort Worth, Texas, and is going to Washington, D.C.
Our recipe is more than the ingredients we choose. It's what we choose to do.
So they started in Fort Worth, Texas, and are on their way to Washington, D.C., and they're claiming that the goal of the walk is to advocate for peace in the world and human compassion. Who, if anybody watches the news these days, we all know that's something we really could use. So they're making many stops along the way. And actually this week, on Wednesday, they stopped in Charlotte. So I guess they're about halfway. If they started in Texas and are going to Washington and are now in North Carolina, they're probably even more than halfway there. I'm reading an article, I guess it's from the local Charlotte News. It says, so some guy named Chris Mulcahy, it says it's life-changing, shares experience seeing Buddhist monks in Charlotte. And it says here, it says, weather impact meteorologist Chris Mulcahy walked nearly a mile Wednesday night to see Buddhist monks on their cross-country walk for peace, joining thousands gathered at the Marion Deal Recreation Center in Charlotte. What he heard, he said, changed his life. I took in every single word he said, and I think that was truly one of the most life-changing speeches I've ever heard in my entire life, Macaulay said on Live Impact News. The monk's message centered on mindfulness, living fully in each moment rather than dwelling on past regrets or future worries. This is also something that I definitely believe in. We're not going to be able to achieve world peace until we can all achieve our own inner peace, Macaulay recalled the monk saying, a quote that particularly resonated with him. This is ironic because I'm using a phone to do these kind of, live streams. It says the monk addressed the crowd's relationship with technology, describing phones as lovers that distract from present experiences. Mulcahy noticed the irony as hundreds of screens recorded the moment while the monk preached presence, which is funny. The irony is that I'm using a phone here. So the point is, I just wanted to share this story about these monks who have been walking from Texas to Washington, and they're stopping at cities, speaking to audiences, trying to, persuade, they're trying to encourage world peace and mindfulness and compassion. And it's definitely something we need to hear more of these days. If you turn on the news, there's, whether it's been the protests in Minneapolis, it was a woman killed in Minneapolis by ICE agents, or the protests in Iran getting killed by their government, or talk about also, talks of the United States trying to acquire Greenland, perhaps by force. So there's a lot of stuff that, probably brings a lot of stress to people, but it's good to also know that there are people who are encouraging peace in this world. So once again, if you look up about the Buddhist monks, like I said, the Buddhist monks, it's called the Walk for Peace. They are marching from Texas to Washington. They were just in Charlotte, North Carolina, and might be worth following, their message and listening to that. So, I'll go back to music for a little bit. Let's see. All right. It's my fall song, even though it's still winter. So. They are falling. Let's get on the Actually, that's a good segue. I didn't say at the beginning I'd read this, but I think I'll read this story. So here's a short story I did. I actually read this in class. Speaking of haunted house, I made a story called The Haunted House, so I'll read this. The Haunted House by myself, Nate Feldman. Josh and his friend Aaron approached the haunted house at the end of the street. When they arrived, they saw a big sign on the door, "No entering." "We're not supposed to be here," Aaron said to Josh. "Don't be afraid," Josh told him. "There's nothing scary inside." They opened the big black wooden door in front of them. It made a loud creaking sound. Inside there was darkness. "This place is scary," Aaron said to Josh. "I want to go back." Josh ignored him. He walked further into the house. All of a sudden, there were loud sounds. There were sounds of people laughing and screaming at the same time, but there were no people. "You're not allowed to enter this house," a deep voice yelled at Josh and Aaron. Aaron grabbed Josh's arm. "I told you, we're not permitted to be here. Please, let's go." Josh ignored Aaron and the voice. "I won't listen to you," Josh said to both of them. There was a locking sound behind Josh and Aaron. "Then you will be here forever with us," the voice shouted at them. Well, that's the end of that. That's just a little short story I called The Haunted House. And have the song Haunted House and the story Haunted House, so kind of go together. All right, let's think of other songs I haven't played in a while. So, me at all. I never have to see you in the hall. Really think you want to see me fall. You're gonna hit me in the face with a ball. I'll never know just what I did to you to make you hate me like a fool. Really think you want to hit my face. You're gonna drag my body all over the place. You never say a word to me at all. I never have to see you in the hall. I really think you want to see me fall. You're gonna hit me in the face with a ball. To see me fall. Face with a ball. Never say a word to me at all. I never have to see you in the hall. I really think you want to see me fall. You're gonna hit me in the face with a ball. Obviously, still working on that song. I'll do one more song and conclude with my skit, and then that'll be it for today. All right, here, going back to my short skit, Camp Doomsday. So every week I like to do the skit called Camp Doomsday. It's about I talked about Buddhist monks talking for, world peace. Well, in this world, Josh is fighting for world peace, but between humans and monsters, not people. So here's the brochure, Camp Doomsday. So here's the skit for this week. Hello, everyone. I'm Josh, the director of Camp Doomsday. We know it's January and it's freezing outside, but summer is just around the corner. And if you haven't found your kids a place to go this summer, we'll consider signing them up for Camp Doomsday, the only place where humans and monsters interact with one another and form lifelong relationships. I know the idea of sending your camp where humans and monsters are together might seem really frightening to some people, but we can assure you your children, whether they're a human or a monster, will have a fantastic time and have the summer of their lives. So what are you waiting for? Sign up your child for Camp Doomsday this summer, and we'll see you there, the only place where humans and monsters coexist. Okay. And on that note, we'll be ending this live stream. So thanks for all those who attended and made kind comments. I appreciate it. And happy Martin Luther King Day to people here in the United States. Have a great 3-day weekend for those who have 3-day weekends. And I'll see you soon with more songs, news stories, skits, everything. All right. Have a great weekend. Bye.